Bernie Sanders might have been a better pick. Again, he was considered extremely too far left for the Democratic Party, and that's why they really weren't behind Bernie Sanders, and he never got the steam that he wanted to get. Because, in all intents and purposes, he may have been a better candidate or a better president than Joe Biden ended up being. But the Democrats weren't with him because they felt like he was too radically left. But what happened is that the whole party has become too far radically left, and that's why I think they lost the middle of the road voters.
Issues that Democrats only think in terms of identity, but that's not working anymore. The number one identity people care about is not Latino, black, or white. It's class. Are you going to do something for the average man, or are you going to sit there and play identity politics so you avoid the more important questions that your donors don't want to talk about that actually helps the average guy, like paid family leave and higher wages?
Okay, Professor Lippman.
I don't get it, Sink. I don't get it.
Yes.
The reality is, like, Bill Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Barack Obama, they stood up for Obamacare. They stood up for fair pay. These are populist issues at the heart of the Democratic Party. You go after Democratic Party donors and the establishment Democrats stood for those issues, brought them to the table, and won. And Democrats, if you look at what Joe Biden did, in terms of bailing people out during the virus and saying that we have to have infrastructure and building, that helped working people in this country. But a lot of lies were told about that history.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, Professor, I know you got to leave us, so just you wanted to jump in there.
Yeah. First of all, let me add a quick fact. There was no massive switch of black voters to Donald Trump. Donald Trump got 13% of the black vote, 11% the last time. That's 2% of a very small segment of voters. So that's one of the big myths of this election. Second big myth is that hindsight is 20/20.
Well, hold on. I don't think anybody ever said that huge numbers of black people voted for Donald Trump. What was said is that a lot of voters who would have normally voted Democrat voted for Donald Trump this time, and as well as the Latino male vote. So the temperature of a lot of things did change, but nobody ever said he got huge amounts of votes. We all know that the vast majority of the black community still went for Harris.
Monday morning quarterbacks who, after the fact, are telling us what Harris should and should not have done. And half of them are saying she lost because she was too progressive. She was too open to the charge of being a radical, a socialist. The other half have said, of course, she lost because she wasn't progressive enough. We heard that from Cenk today. It's all sports talk radio without the entertainment. There is no way to know after the fact what she should or should not have done.
No, this guy's bugging right now. And this guy, he predicted the last, I don't know how many elections, and was right about all of them up until now. So he's been right for decades, from what I understand. Now, I think it's more about the Democrats taking a look at what could have been done. If you ask me, what could have been done is that she could have done more interviews earlier. She could have said, hey, you know what? Here are some differences between me and Biden. Here are some things I would have done. I would have closed the border earlier. They could have decided as a party to address the whole transgender thing, because I do think America does care about what is being done as far as bathrooms or sports. People do care about it. Is it top of the issues as far as the country? No, but I think it's something people cared about. So she could have addressed certain things and just said, yo, this is who I am. Like me or love me. That's what I would have done if I were her. Look, 100 days. People said she didn't have a lot of time, but 100 days is a lot of time. You just say who you are, say what you stand for, let the voters choose, and that's what you got to do. So that would have been better than spending time trying to convince everybody that Donald Trump is some crazy lunatic. I think that there are people in the base who really dug that, and they were with that, and they were going to vote a particular way regardless. But I think there are a lot of people in the middle who weren't sure. And I think what they saw was that, okay, I know who this guy is. I don't know who she is. And I think that was the missed opportunity. So I think when people say that, we're playing Monday morning quarterback and you never know what could have happened, I think that's wrong. There's so much material. We've had so much on the internet, on legacy media, all types of examples as to where that campaign went wrong and where the party's going wrong and how they're out of touch. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Crucial Combo.